I couldn't stay in my dorm room forever. I gripped the doorknob and swallowed. My spine was rigid and muscles stiff from too many hours spent horizontal. When I'd awoken that morning, I found Bianca's bed empty and left unmade, which in itself was worrisome. She never left her bed unmade, but she hadn't exactly been herself since, well, I didn't want to go there. It would only make me want to curl back up under the covers and never come out. She'd left a mug of coffee, still slightly warm, and a croissant with butter on my night table. I'd inhaled the small meal before the film of sleep had even fully left my eyes. Turns out being unconscious for a couple days made you really, really hungry. I put it off as long as I could, but now, dressed in my kilt, blouse, and burgundy sweater, I couldn't hide anymore. Besides, the onslaught of nightmares and nightmarish memories from my ancestors made my rest feel more like a horror movie marathon. That, it turned out, was the side effect Granger neglected to warn me about. How the origin spell could linger, causing vivid memories from the bloodline to seep through to the present mind. And that shit was not pretty. They were all mad. Well, most of them. Like, certifiably insane, if the nightmares I'd been plagued with for 2 days were any indication. There were horrifying images of a woman shackled to a wall, singing softly to herself in a raspy voice between cracked lips. A man who pulled his own teeth out while he laughed around a mouthful of blood, and another who had set flame to his family home, smiling, his family still inside. Their screams echoed in my head even now. I shuddered and forced air deep into my lungs to calm myself. So what? Obviously, my ancestors had a history of mental illness. So did a lot of people's families. It didn't mean anything. I'm not crazy, I told myself for the 10th time that morning. The psycho gene, obviously, and thankfully skipped my generation. I opened the door and stepped into the vacant hallway, grateful classes had already started for the day. My legs felt like wobbly stilts on my way down the stairs, and I had to grip the banister for support, sighing when I hit solid ground at the bottom. Elias wasn't in his classroom, so it must have been second period. Perfect. If I hurried, I could probably catch him before third. I needed to talk to him about what happened, about what all these visions and nightmares meant, and why every person in that council chamber regarded me like I was some sort of monster summoned from the depths of hell, after seeing what the origin spell had shown them. Was it just the history of insanity in my family line? I doubted that. There had to be something more to it to cause such an uproar. The back of my neck prickled, and I spun, feeling as though there was someone right on my heels, breathing cool air onto my skin. But there was no one. I shook my head and turned to rush down the hall, eager to get to the warm comfort of Elias's cabin in the woods. I pivoted on my heel and loosed a tiny squeal when I nearly collided with a man hurrying the opposite way down the hall. My hand flew to my heart, and I swallowed,